and peace be upon you. A very warm and deliberate welcome to all our friends and viewers tuning in to English Easy Peasy. We are so incredibly glad you are joining us today for another deep dive.
It really is wonderful to be here. And honestly, before we even, start breaking down today's topic, we want to express our genuine gratitude to you, the listener.
Absolutely.
Whether you are watching this on a screen or just listening while you walk, drive, or maybe cook dinner, your support is literally everything to us.
It really is.
Your shares, your likes, and your time are the reason English Easy Peasy continues to grow. You are the heartbeat of this channel.
We truly would not be here without you. Now, before we jumped into today's topic, which is a massive one regarding how we live our lives, I want to quickly clarify our mission for this specific audio experience.
Right, because we are doing something a bit intentional here today.
Exactly. Our goal as English Easy Peasy is to help you learn English easily and simply. But we want to do it through practical, interesting discussion. We definitely do not want to just read a boring textbook to you.
No, nobody wants that. You might notice right away that we are speaking with very clear voices. We are keeping a measured, steady pace. We are doing this on purpose. We want this deep dive to be a tool for beginners and intermediate learners to practice their English listening skills without feeling overwhelmed by incredibly fast slang.
Right. So relax, listen closely, and let's learn together.
I'm ready.
Perfect. So let's get into it. I want to start with a hypothetical question for you and for everyone listening out there. Imagine I have a magic wand.
Ooh, magic wand.
Okay. Yeah. If I gave you 10 extra hours every single day, so your day was 34 hours long instead of 24, do you think you would actually achieve more?
Wow. That is the big question, isn't it? I think most people's instinct is to immediately scream, yes. Absolutely.
I know I would.
Right? People think if I just had more time, I would get everything done. I would finally learn that new language. I would write my book. I would exercise every day. And I would have a perfectly clean house.
I used to think that exact same thing. I used to think if I just had more time, I would be successful. But here is the shocking truth we found in our research today. The problem isn't the amount of time.
It's not.
The problem is the method by which we live inside that time. If you are disorganized with 24 hours, you will just be disorganized and probably way more tired with 34 hours.
It is a hard pill to swallow, but it is completely true. This deep dive is for anyone who feels busy all day long. Running around, answering emails, doing chores.
Constant motion.
Exactly. But at the end of the day, they look back and see very few actual results. It is for the person who is busy but not productive.
We have all been there. It is that feeling of being on a treadmill, lots of movement, lots of sweat, but you haven't actually gone anywhere.
That is a great analogy.
Thanks. So our agenda today is exciting. We are going to reveal the secrets of time management and productivity. These are the specific strategies used by highly successful people, but they are rarely spoken about in this practical way.
And we are going to break them down step by step so you can actually use them in your daily life.
Let's unpack the first big concept. We need to look at the philosophy of time itself. We have all heard the famous quote by Benjamin Franklin, right? Time is money.
Oh, it is a classic.
Yeah.
It is probably one of the very first idioms people learn in English. It suggests that time is a currency.
Right. Something you trade.
But the material we reviewed suggests that while Franklin was wise, that quote might be a little limited. The deeper truth is that time isn't just money. Time is life itself.
That feels so much heavier.
It does.
It really raises the stakes. When you waste money, you can usually earn it back. You can work harder, get a bonus, or save up. But when you waste time, it is gone forever.
Gone forever.
You are essentially wasting a slice of your life that you can never, ever get back.
Precisely. Steve Jobs had a very powerful perspective on this. He said, your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life.
That is such a good reminder. It forces you to pause and ask yourself, are you living your day consciously? Or are you just floating through it? letting the day get lost in small, unimportant details.
I think a lot of us are guilty of floating.
Oh, definitely. We wake up, we grab our phones, we scroll for a bit, and suddenly it is noon.
And this leads us to the first major secret. You have to realize that you do not manage time. You cannot manage a clock.
Because it just keeps ticking.
Exactly. The clock will tick at the exact same speed no matter what you do. You cannot slow it down, and you cannot speed it up. You manage yourself.
I love that distinction because it shifts the responsibility right back to us. Time is fixed. We all get 24 hours. Beyonce gets 24 hours, the president gets 24 hours, and I get 24 hours.
The variables are us.
Yes.
The variables are your energy, your focus, and how clear your goals are. If you don't have those things, the time doesn't matter. You could have all the time in the world and still accomplish absolutely nothing.
So how do we start managing ourselves? I mean, it sounds really good philosophically, but what is the practical step? How do I actually stop floating?
We looked to Peter Drucker for this. He is often called the father of modern management. He had a brilliant concept. He said, what gets measured gets improved.
This is interesting. So simply by observing how we spend our time, we can automatically get better at using it.
Yeah.
It is like a diet, right? If you write down everything you eat, you naturally start eating better just because you were watching it.
It is exactly like that. If you just track your day, like physically write down what you did for the last hour, you instantly become more aware.
You stop spending time blindly and start investing it.
Most people are shocked when they do this exercise. They think they worked for 8 hours straight. But when they actually track it, they realize they spent 3 hours on social media and 2 hours just staring blankly at a screen.
That makes perfect sense. It is like looking at your bank statement. Once you see exactly where the money is going, you stop buying things you don't actually need. Okay, let's move on to the next segment. This is all about prioritization, the art of choosing. Because, let's face it, we simply cannot do everything.
This is where most people really struggle. They have a to-do list with 20 different items, and they try to do every single one of them. And when they don't finish, they feel like terrible failures.
Guilty as charged. I love a long list.
We all do.
It makes me feel so ambitious in the morning, but then I feel depressed in the evening when I only crossed off 4 things.
Well, the second secret we need to discuss is the Pareto principle, which is also known as the 80-20 rule. It comes from an Italian economist named Vilfredo Pareto.
Can you break that down for us? How does a rule from economics apply to my daily schedule?
Sure. The basic idea is that 20% of your actions create 80% of your results.
Okay.
In business, for example, 20% of the customers usually provide 80% of the profit. In productivity, 20% of your tasks give you 80% of your success.
Wow. So that implies that most of what we do all day doesn't actually matter that much?
Exactly. Most of what we do is just busy work. It feels like work. It makes us tired like work. But it doesn't move the needle. It doesn't get you any closer to your big goals.
So what is the actionable advice here?
Look at your list and ask yourself one very specific question. What is the one task that, if I finished it today, would make this entire day a success?
Just one.
Just one.
That feels a little scary. What about the other 19 things on my list?
You can get to them later. But here is the key distinction between an average person and a highly productive person.
What is it?
The average person starts with the easiest task. They check their email, they tidy up their desk, maybe they file some papers. They want a quick win. But the productive person starts with the most important task.
That actually reminds me of a very famous metaphor regarding a frog. I have heard this phrase, eat the frog.
Yes. Brian Tracy's famous advice, eat that frog.
Now, for our listeners who are learning English, we should probably clarify. He does not want you to eat a real frog. That'd be disgusting and probably dangerous depending on the frog.
Please do not eat a frog. It is a metaphor. The frog represents the hardest, most important, and perhaps most intimidating task on your list.
The one you are dreading.
Yes. It is the task you are actively procrastinating on. It is the task you're afraid of. If you eat the frog first thing in the morning, meaning if you do that really hard task first, The rest of the day is easy by comparison.
Because the worst part is over.
Exactly.
It is about getting the heavy lifting done early. If you figuratively eat a frog at 8 in the morning, nothing worse can happen to you for the rest of the day.
You carry this incredible sense of victory with you all day long. And to help with this, there is another rule mentioned in the notes. It is called the Rule of 3.
What is that one?
It is a simple system to keep you from feeling overwhelmed by those long lists. Every morning, you choose only 3 main tasks, not 10, just 3.
And if those 3 are done?
Those 3 are done, you win the day.
I really like the simplicity of that. It actually connects to a great quote by the German writer Goethe. He said, "Things which matter most must never be at the mercy of things which matter least."
That is a beautiful quote. It means don't let checking social media, which matters least, stop you from writing your book or learning English, which matters most.
Okay, so we know we need to prioritize. We have our 3 tasks. We are ready to eat the frog. But then we sit down to work and distractions are literally everywhere.
Oh, they are everywhere.
The phone rings, a notification pops up on the screen, a dog barks outside.
And that brings us to a really critical concept called deep work. This concept comes from Cal Newport's book, which is appropriately titled Deep Work.
Define that for us. What exactly counts as deep work? Is it just working hard?
Not exactly. Deep work is the ability to focus completely without any distraction on a cognitively demanding task.
So total isolation.
Almost. It means no phone nearby, no email tabs open on your internet browser, no television playing in the background. It is complete 100% focus.
Is it really that different from normal work? I mean, I feel like I can work perfectly fine with the TV on or while occasionally checking my text messages.
You might feel like you can, but the research says otherwise. There is a fascinating equation we found in the source material.
Let's hear it.
1 hour of real deep focus is equivalent to 3 hours of interrupted, distracted work.
That is a massive return on investment.
It is huge.
If I just focus deeply for 1 hour, I get 3 hours worth of results. That is incredibly efficient.
Exactly. The actionable steps here are simple to understand, but they are hard to actually do. You have to turn off your notifications, put the phone in another room, literally, physically remove it from your sight, set a specific timer, and work on one task.
One task. It reminds me of that famous quote by Bruce Lee. He said, "I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times."
Yes, that perfectly illustrates the power of repetition and deep focus. Focus creates power. If you are scattering your energy everywhere, you have no power. You are just creating noise.
Speaking of scattering energy, we have to talk about multitasking.
Oh boy.
This is something I really struggle with personally. I feel like if I do 2 things at once, I am being doubly productive.
We have to burst that bubble right now. We really need to be clear about this for everyone listening. Stop multitasking.
Stop doing it completely.
Completely. It is a myth. True multitasking does not actually exist.
But wait, I feel like I'm getting so much done when I am cooking dinner, talking on the phone with my mom, and checking emails on my laptop all at the same time.
You feel busy,
Yeah.
certainly, but your brain is actually suffering. What you are doing isn't multitasking. It is called task switching.
Task switching.
Yes. You are switching your focus rapidly back and forth between the cooking, the phone conversation, and the emails. Constant switching consumes massive amounts of mental energy. It drastically reduces your actual productivity, and it effectively lowers your IQ while you're doing it.
So when I think I am doing 2 things really well, I am actually doing 2 things poorly.
Exactly. You are much more likely to burn the dinner, and you will probably forget half of what you said on the phone.
Wow. So what is the mantra we should adopt to fix this?
The mantra is simple. 1 task, 1 screen, 1 goal.
I love that. 1 task, 1 screen, 1 goal. That is going to stick with me. Let's move on to some tactical tools. We have talked about the philosophy of time, but how do we handle the actual flow of the day? Because not every hour feels the same to me.
This brings us to a huge realization in productivity. Manage energy, not just hours.
Wait, didn't we just say earlier that we all have the exact same 24 hours?
We do have the same hours, but we do not all have the same energy levels at the same times. This is a big shift for people who try to live strictly by a calendar. You need to shift your perspective. Don't just plan your hours, you have to plan your energy.
I think I understand what you mean. For example, I am very much a morning person. My brain is sharpest at 9 in the morning, but at 3 in the afternoon, I am basically useless. I just want to take a nap.
Exactly. So you should deliberately schedule your deep work and your frog eating for 9 in the morning. That is when you have high fuel in your tank.
Right.
But at 3 in the afternoon, during that low energy slump, that is exactly when you should do the routine, easy stuff. That is the perfect time for answering emails, filing paperwork, or cleaning your desk.
That is really smart. You are working with your body's natural rhythm, not against it. You shouldn't try to write a masterpiece or learn a complex English grammar rule when your eyes are literally closing.
Right. Save the hard work for peak energy. But what about the small stuff? The little tiny tasks that constantly pop up all day long. Like, oh, I need to email Bob, or I need to quickly pay that water bill, or I need to confirm that dentist appointment.
For those little things, we found a really great tool called the 2-minute rule. This comes from David Allen's excellent book, Getting Things Done.
I use this rule all the time. It is an absolute lifesaver for keeping a clean house and maintaining a clear mind.
How does it work? Tell us the rule.
The rule is very straightforward. If a new task takes less than 2 minutes to complete, do it immediately.
Don't even write it down on the to-do list.
No, do not write it on the list. Do not schedule it for later. Do not delay it. Just do it right then and there.
Why not write it down so I don't forget it?
Because if you take the time to pull out your list, write the task down, prioritize it, and then organize it, you have already wasted more time than it actually takes to just finish the task.
So if I walk into the kitchen and see a single dirty dish in the sink,
wash it. It takes 30 seconds.
If I remember that I need to send a quick text message confirming a meeting for tomorrow,
send it right now. It takes 20 seconds. If you let all those tiny 2-minute tasks pile up, they morph into a giant mountain of anxiety by the end of the week.
That is intensely practical. Okay, now, we have covered the mind and the daily tactics. We have talked about eating frogs, deep focus, and managing clocks versus energy. But there is a foundation underneath all of this that I think is very often forgotten by busy people: the biology.
Yes. This is our final and honestly perhaps our most important segment today. We call it the physical engine.
The physical engine.
Right. You'd have the best productivity apps on your phone, you can have the most expensive daily planner, and you can have incredibly clear goals. But if your physical engine is broken, you aren't going anywhere.
We're talking about sleep and general health here, right? This seems so obvious, but people really do neglect it.
They absolutely neglect it, especially in what we call hustle culture today. There is this toxic idea floating around that if you want to be truly successful, you should only sleep 4 hours a night and just drink 10 cups of coffee to survive.
I see that on social media all the time. People post things like, while you are sleeping, I am grinding.
It is terrible advice. It is scientifically proven to be terrible advice. An exhausted mind simply cannot be productive. It makes silly mistakes. It works much more slowly. It gets easily frustrated and emotional.
So what is the actual recipe for productivity?
The recipe for true long-term productivity isn't a magical new smartphone app. It is 7 to 8 hours of high-quality sleep every single night. It is daily physical movement or exercise. And it is drinking sufficient water.
It sounds so basic. Honestly, it almost sounds boring compared to complex time management matrices.
It is basic, but it is the fuel. Think of yourself as a luxury car. If you put cheap, dirty fuel into a beautiful Ferrari, the Ferrari will not drive well. It will break down.
And I'm the Ferrari in this scenario.
You are the Ferrari. You need to treat your body like a high-performance machine if you ever want to get high-performance results out of it.
I think that is a huge relief for a lot of our listeners to hear. You do not have to suffer and exhaust yourself to be highly productive. You actually have to take really good care of yourself first.
Exactly.
There is a quote by the author Jim Rohn that really sums up this entire attitude of taking control of your life.
Yes, he said, either you run the day or the day runs you.
That is so powerful. Either you run the day or the day runs you. It reminds you, the listener, that the ultimate decision is completely in your hands.
And that is really the ultimate takeaway from this entire discussion. You always have the choice. You can let the day push you around, letting yourself be distracted by every single notification, every phone call, and every loud noise. Or you can step up, use these tools, and direct your day intentionally.
So let's wrap this up and summarize exactly what we have learned in this deep dive. We have covered a lot of ground today.
We really have. The core message is this. Productivity is not about being busy. It is about being impactful. It is never about how many hours you sat at a desk working, but the actual results you created during that time.
And let's quickly recap the formula we discussed.
It is basically 3 steps. First, prioritize. Start with the most important tasks. Eat the frog first thing in the morning.
Right.
Second, focus. Engage in deep work. Put the phone away and entirely avoid the myth of multitasking. And third, manage your energy, not just your clock. Ensure your biological engine is running smoothly with sleep and health.
If you do those 3 things, you will absolutely see a transformation in your life. Now, before we go, we have a little interactive challenge for you. We really want to know who listened all the way to the very end.
Yes, we love seeing who our deep dive graduates are in the comments section. If you have reached this point in the audio, we want you to leave a comment below. We want you to write the phrase, "I will start with the most important."
And if you want to try writing it in Arabic, that phrase is "Okay, اسمعوا." That is pronounced "Sa'abda bilaham."
Sa'abda bilaham. Exactly. But you can absolutely write it in English to practice your typing and spelling. Just type, "I will start with the most important." This proves to us that you are part of the elite group of listeners who finishes what they start.
And please, we have a huge favor to ask of you. We really need your support for English Easy Peasy. We work very hard to research and make these audio experiences for you.
We do.
If you found any value in this discussion today, please subscribe to the channel right now. Hit that little bell icon so you do not miss our future deep dives. Like the content and share it with your friends and loved ones.
It might seem like just a small, quick click for you, but for us, that support is absolutely vital. It is what allows the channel to succeed, to continue growing, and it helps us provide better and stronger content for you every single week. We really want to keep doing this for a long time.
We truly appreciate every single one of you. You are helping us build an amazing community of learners around the world. Thank you for spending your valuable time, your life with us today. We hope to see you in the next discussion.
Let's keep moving together toward a more productive life and stronger, easier English.
Before we sign off, I want to leave you with one final provocative thought to mull over today.
Oh, I like this. What is it?
What if the ultimate productivity hack isn't about doing more things efficiently? What if true time management is actually the ruthless elimination of everything society tells you to care about, leaving only the very few things you genuinely love?
Wow. That changes everything.
It really does. Stay constantly progressing.
Rocket emoji sentiment. See you next time.